So that is the airport in Tahiti, and this is where I am staying, just up the hill from the airport. Arrived here at 9:30 local time last night after 13 hours of flying from Toronto. It was a long day, so we actually got in here at about 3:30 in the morning, our time, Toronto, which was only about 9:30 here. It's about a 6-hour time difference. So kind of a long day of flying. Air Tahiti Nui flew in on, you can maybe see it over there in the end. That's one of them. It's a 787 Dreamliner. That's what we flew in on. But kind of a tiring day. And then we climbed up this big hill. It's not all that far, this motel from the airport, but it is all up stairs, all up a set of stairs. So when you're carrying a 50-pound suitcase and another 40-pound suitcase and a couple of backpacks, it was a bit of a haul to get in here yesterday. But we're rested now, we've turned around, and we're looking forward to our next leg, which is back to the airport in about 4 hours from now. We're going to meet another plane there, and then we're going to fly about 45 minutes just to another little island, a sister island in French Polynesia called Raiatea. And that's where the Tradewind 60-foot catamaran is that we're going to meet. We'll get on the catamaran later on this afternoon, and we will be sailing and in Tradewind's hands for the next week, so I won't have to worry about much after that. And then we have a following week after that, after the catamaran week, where we're going to be doing some serious diving in another little island, but we'll tell you about that later on. So first order of business, find a coffee this morning and take a little look around. Not sure what kind of an aircraft this is. It's not a Dash 8. Hello. This is an Air Tahiti plane that we're on now, and this is going to take us from Papeete, which is the capital of Tahiti, over to Raiatea. It's about a 45-minute flight. You can see the beautiful colors of the aqua green waters and the lagoon side and the coral reef that surrounds most of the islands of French Polynesia. French Polynesia is a huge area. It's about the size of Europe. Only about 300,000 people, though, actually call French Polynesia home. And we're just coming down now on Air Tahiti now, landing in the island country of Raiatea in the Society Islands. Welcome to Raiatea and the home of the Tradewind's Tahiti base. Somewhere very near the airport in Raiatea. It's just right beside it almost. I think I saw it as we were flying in. We made it. That's only about a 10-minute ride from the airport to get over to the Raiatea Tradewind's base. And the cab drops you off right in front of the boat, so you can't get much closer than that. That is very, very close. So I'm not exactly sure which one's which, but these are all the Tradewind's boats right along here, the catamarans. So I think we'll probably end up just dropping the luggage right here on the dock. We've got a couple hours before we board. And I saw a bar on the way in, so I think that will be the order of the day, is to head over to that bar and have a beer or two. Right? You want a beer?
I want a beer.
You want a beer. All right, this is perfect. Oh, there we go. We can leave the luggage here?
Yes.
Right on the dock, right? Yeah, that's perfect.
Yukon Bob?
Yeah.
Welcome to Tahiti, Yukon Bob.
Thank you, guys.
Yukon Bob.
There we go. She just made the video. So I think we found our boat. Welcome aboard Tamona. Lois and Bob, Susie and Bob, Lynette and Greg, Tammy and Jeff, and Alex and Emerson. Your captain is Lovan. Your first mate and chef is Menon. So Tamona, that's this boat over here. So this is a hot turnaround day for Tradewinds. This boat only got in last night. Crew and the passengers only got off this morning. So they have the Friday to turn the boat around, get it all cleaned up, get all the rooms cleaned up, resupplied, restocked, and then the new guests for the week board Friday night at 5 o'clock. So they've got 7-8 hours to get the boats turned around. So it's a busy day on Friday. It's turnaround day for these boats. And that's what they're doing right now, still cleaning up and getting them ready. Timawana.
Hey, Yorana.
Thank you.
Welcome in French Polynesia.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So there is a Tradewinds tradition which sort of says take your shoes off before you kind of come on board. I remember this from the other voyages, and we will do that. Okay, guys. Thank you.
Welcome on the boat.
Thank you very much. The sunlight is getting so beautiful right now. It's just getting a little bit lower on the horizon, and the light is just perfect.
Cheers. Cheers for this beautiful day.
Cheers, everyone. Nice meeting you. Cheers.
Rum, cocoa, vanilla, mango, orange juice, and some ice.
Oh my God. They took off and still had a rope tied to the dock. That's not a great start. I'm sure that captain's just a little bit embarrassed right now in front of everybody. We thought you were taking off a little too quickly. We tied the rope. So that particular boat is a 59-foot luxury boat. It's called Tahiti at a Raiatea. And they are the first ones out. We will be out of here right away. These boats always pull out of their bases in some of the beautiful light of magical hour as it's setting down on the horizon a little bit. Away they go. So just to give you a sense, Tradewind's base is right there, just pulled out of that marina there. And if you just go over to right there, that's where the airport is at Raiatea. So from there to there, that's how close things are in terms of the location of the base to the airport. I think tonight we're just gonna moor as we normally do, not very far from the base where we left. You kind of go out 45 minutes, maybe an hour, if that. And I think I just heard the captain say we're going to tie up to a mooring ball tonight. So we'll be out there and we'll watch the sun go down over the mooring ball. This is Apu Bay. It will be our first stop for the week. So we had just a beautiful sunset to end day number 1 on the boat as the sun slowly dipped down into the ocean. The next morning brought some cloudy skies, but at least no rain this day. A few shots of our 60-foot Tradewind's Catamaran here as I pulled out the drone and did a little filming around the area. This coral reef is kind of an interesting situation. There's that white area out there, which is the water, the waves breaking on the coral reef, protecting all of the islands. A lot of the places in French Polynesia have this reef that surrounds them where the water breaks outside and then the lagoon is calm. Breakfast starts around 8 o'clock in the morning. Here you see a selection of eggs, some fruit, and some nice fresh croissants.
Right after, we're gonna move the boat from here to go up and to be right here, close to the path to go out of the lagoon. There is one nice snorkeling, so you're gonna, if some of you want to snorkeling, you can do it.
The last time Lois tried this, she fell off the back of the dinghy and into the water. Captain jumped in to rescue her, and the problem was he had his cell phone in his pocket. It went underwater for about 15 seconds, but when he got back out, he put it in fresh water right away. And then there's I didn't know this, but there's a sound thing you can get on YouTube where you press this button and it makes a sound in your phone to help displace water out of the phone. And he did that, and even though the phone was underwater for maybe 10 or 15 seconds, it still works, it's fine. What you're looking at here in probably 30, 40 feet of water is a whole group of spotted eagle rays, and why they gather in this particular place in the ocean and in these numbers nobody seems to know, but they just are so beautiful to watch in the water. Here's a shot I took of another spotted eagle ray. This was on a different trip in the Caribbean, but just look how graceful these creatures are as they move through the water. Spotted eagle rays. Well, the people on board said that they wanted to see some sharks. The captain said, hey, I know a spot where you can see lots of sharks. So we climbed back on board the dinghy and made our way over to an area with really shallow water, and we weren't disappointed.
Have you seen the sharks around here?
Crazy. I like it.
Yeah.
Just in about 4 feet of water, and they were just cruising around. Obviously, it's a very popular spot. There were quite a few other boats out there as well in the water. People in the water just walking around. You could just kind of get your head down under 4 feet of water, and these sharks and rays would be just cruising right by you. So that was very cool. Rain is back. It's kind of around us, and we may have this rain for the rest of the day. I'm not sure. The boat's underway. We're going to go back out through the channel, right out through there. Apparently, there's only one way in through the reef that surrounds Bora Bora. Only one way to get in, one way to get out. So you got to be very careful with the shallowness of the inner lagoon.
Hey, Bob.
Perfect.
Hovering above the boat.
We've got some adventurous people on this trip with us. People who are really good on the paddle boards, people who are pretty good on the kayaks. People who've done a lot of stuff too. Hiked up Machu Picchu, barefoot water skiing, all kinds of adventurous things. Mountain biking, downhill skiing, backcountry skiing. People have done a lot of stuff. Nice to see. Well, the next morning, the clouds had lifted just a little bit, so I put the drone in the air so we could finally get a look at that famous mountaintop in Bora Bora and some of the beautiful colors that surround the island in the lagoon. Well, that's it. I know that the morning has officially begun on the Tradewinds boat when Greg jumps in for his morning swim. He does a morning swim every morning off the back of the boat and then does some exercises on the front part of the boat. So it's it's Monday morning now on the boat. We've been on about 3 days, and we have had rain absolutely every day on the boat since we've been on it. In all the years I've been doing Tradewinds trips, I have never seen so much rain. And this was supposed to be the very best time to come to French Polynesia. It was in like August, September, June, July, somewhere in those months were supposed to be the better weather months. But we've had a lot of rain on this trip. Every day it's rained. It's calling for rain like 90% every day. Occasionally there's windows where the rain lifts and it just sort of settles down for a little bit and you can kind of get out and go do snorkeling or get out in the Zodiac, something like that. Today what we've got scheduled is a Jeep ride, 4x4 Jeep ride up into the mountains of Bora Bora. We'll go ashore and I think most of us are going to go on this Jeep ride today for something to do in the afternoon. And I'm not sure where it's going to take us, but up into the mountains. Maybe they've got some rain ponchos or something with them that we can wear. So a lot of our time has been spent right back here in the salon area, in the outer salon area, instead of up on the fly bridge and up in the front, just because there's been so much rain. So that's the story on this trip. You can't totally predict what the weather's going to be, and we've had, like I say, a fair amount of rain. So I'm going to have a cup of coffee here this morning. Breakfast will be served in about an hour. and maybe do another snorkel today in the morning, and then we will be doing a bit of a jeep tour later on this afternoon.
Bye, Bob.
Bye, Bob.
Hang on, guys, I gotta tell you,
Hey,
you guys are going nowhere yet.
Thank you.
There you go, Bob.
Well done.
Enjoy your trip. They're off to the Bora Bora Yacht Club and the Jeep Tour. This is probably one of the higher end places, if you want to call it that, on the island of Bora Bora. It's the Bora Bora Yacht Club. We were going to be having dinner there this evening, but we were going ashore right now in 2 dinghy loads, five people in each dinghy. Captain likes to keep it down to 5 in each dinghy so that we could connect with our guide who was going to take us on a Jeep tour into the interior of Bora Bora. Hey guys, ready for the Jeep tour?
No, that's Yukon Bob.
You must be Bob. I'm Yukon Bob, and this is Bob.
Bob, that's Yukon.
We had to distinguish somehow, right?
Bob, we're gonna have to get some of that drone footage from you.
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Daniel. I'm a driver and a guide also.
Oh, you guys got the good side.
You just need a taste of both.
Okay, I think we're here. So these are the big resorts in Bora Bora, the over-the-water resorts. That whole concept began here in French Polynesia and is now spread around the world. Four Seasons, St. Regis, we got the Meridian, and then down over that way, the Intercontinental. So those are all the really big, very expensive over-water places to stay, and they all seem to be doing fairly well. They employ quite a few people from the area, and they're busy. Here in Bora Bora, there's about 10,000 people that live here. About 4,000 of those people are from here, Polynesians who live here, and about 6,000 come from somewhere else. Kodak moment, yes.
All right.
Wow, those shoes go with the outfits too. Amazing. So the last guests that were on the boat apparently left behind a bottle of Jameson's Irish whiskey. So that is what we're drinking now. We have the highest quality booze that we've seen on the entire trip is this Jameson's Irish whiskey. And we're drinking it in the South Pacific Sea. Today is going to be a dive day. We had dives booked for earlier in the week, but I canceled them because of the weather conditions. Today, light rain, little mist still in the air, as you can see around me, as that yacht behind me just starts to pull out a little bit. But there's a boat coming over to pick us up. Normally on the Tradewinds boats, the diving is included. In any French country, though, you have to dive with local dive masters, and that's what's happening here. There's a company, I think, called Bora Bora Diving, and they're going to come and pick us up shortly. We'll jump on their boat, and there may be other divers as well. And I don't know where we're going, whether we're going out past the reef for a deeper dive or somewhere within the lagoon within Bora Bora for a dive. I'm not sure. 2 dives, and that's a total of 4 for Lois and I, my wife and I. We're going to have a total of 4 dives, 2 each. And we're going to be gone for like 3-4 hours, something like that, and back. So we're just waiting for the boat to come and pick us up this morning and go do a little diving. So apparently at this particular dive location, there's a good chance of maybe seeing manta rays. Those are those great big rays with the wings on each side. So hopefully we'll be able to see some of those in the water here. So just when I thought we might not encounter any manta rays, out of the dim in the distance of the ocean came this shape swimming towards us, and it was a manta ray. Not just one, but there were quite a few in this group. These manta rays do not have the poisonous tail stingers. They can't hurt you. They're really quite gentle, graceful animals under the water. You're not really supposed to reach out and touch them or grab them because they have this mucus layer all over their skin, and the oils on a human hand can interact with that mucus and negate the effects of the mucus, and what it does is it sort of weakens their immune system. So you're not really supposed to touch them as they're gliding by. We just held on to the rocks under the water and we watched them for quite some time as they just cruised by us in this very slow, graceful motion. These are what they call filter feeders. They just kind of open up those large mouths and they swim along and they just suck in all the plankton that they can in the water. Beautiful animals to watch in the water. Coming up next week on our trip to French Polynesia, we say goodbye to our catamaran and we say goodbye to the island of Bora Bora. We hop on a plane and we head to another island called Raiatea, which is known for its exclusive dive sites. I get to swim with some dolphins and make some new friends. Join us next week.